Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ice Cold Takes podcast. I'm your host, Joey DeMeglio. I'm joined by Phil Salmon. We are here to talk about the Adam Fox injury. He's on long-term injured reserve. We're thinking it's a separated shoulder. I think that's what Vince Mercogliano was reporting. Not good for the Rangers. Best player on the team. Not even the best defenseman. This is like our MVP candidate this season. He's been great. Losing him is really bad, of course, but luckily for the Rangers, I think they dodged a bullet there, Phil. It's not season ending. He should return, I believe, next month. If it's not next month, it'll be the following month. His Olympic status will probably not be in jeopardy. I don't know if he's going to, take the trip over to Milan to do that. I don't even know if they're going to be playing in Milan. Have you heard about that? That's crazy. The rink's not even ready yet, apparently.
About 4 feet short. I hear it's not NHL regulation either.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, Olympics aside, Adam Fox is on LTIR, so the Rangers are pretty much going with an all hands on deck situation. Scott Morrow is getting a lot of run here. Matthew Robertson's playing. Borgen's back into the lineup, thankfully. The Rangers desperately needed him, desperately. And the Rangers have kind of continued this inconsistent, if you will, kind of play. And then losing Fox is a tough one. That's their best player. And, in the few games since he's left, a couple games against Dallas and against the Senators, Rangers came away with 2 victories. What do you make of that, Phil?
I don't. I almost don't know. I think inconsistent's the word. They beaten Dallas was fantastic. Unfortunately, that version of the Rangers doesn't show up every night. I think looking at the standings and the schedule for the Rangers, that best sums up by I don't remember the date, but they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think they hung 6 or 7 goals on them and beat them a month ago.
That was a while ago.
And then last week, they at home, the Lightning killed them. It was pretty much a non-competitive game.
It's not to cut you off there, Phil, too. Like the Lightning were shorthanded too. Like they did not have a full roster. They were completely banged up. They had their backup goalie, and I believe the Rangers. The Lightning had no business coming in there and having their way with the Rangers. But that's just what ended up happening. So I'm with you. I'm with you.
Where was that game?
At MSG.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be just a trend that is unimaginable. But
it's unbelievable, man. Like how many road wins did the Rangers have this year? Is like 11? Like I don't get it. I don't understand this team.
They got to have one of the best road records in the league because that's what's keeping them afloat.
I think they do.
Look at last night. They went
the best road record in the NHL. The Rangers have 12 wins. 12 wins. Let's see. I'm looking at the standings right now. Home and away. No one else has 12 wins. No one else has 12 wins. The next closest team has 10. That's the Stars. That's insane. They're 3-8-1 on home ice. How do you play that poorly in your own building?
And 3-1 and non-competitive at it. Some of these games have just been absolute horrific.
Dolan's robbing your fans of their hard-earned money, and that's how you come into play? That doesn't make any sense to me.
He's robbed me of a lot more than that. Don't bring up that name, but yeah. But it's just crazy because you'll flip it around when the Knicks are in the building. I think they're up to 11-1 at home, so it's just doesn't make sense. MSG's it's been such a powerhouse, but it's pretty crazy.
Like the MSG was like the place, like that's the true home ice advantage to have. Like I don't get it. Like the players always played better at home than they did like on the road. I don't get it. I'm at a loss for words there. But anyways, the Rangers lost Fox in that game against the Lightning. Probably their worst played game this season. I don't know if you saw that, but that was a seriously uninspiring performance there. It was terrible. They had, I think, 13 shots on goal for the game. the other night against Dallas, the Rangers had like 20 shots in like the third period. It probably wasn't 20 shots, but it was probably like 13 or something. Probably double. It was double digits for sure in just the third period. So how they come away with like with those efforts, beyond me. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I more because it's fresh on my mind. It's been up and down. There's bad performances, but positively, I thought they played excellent last night.
Yes.
I thought they had, you know, thoroughly dominated. Not, I shouldn't say it that way, but I mean, they really look strong 5-on-5. They impressed, and like you said, they're shorthanded. No Fox, which is always, it is a big issue, but it could be a bigger issue if they weren't actually playing decent without him. You know, it's a small sample size, and to maintain that for the next 4 to 6 weeks or whatever that timeline is not going to be easy, and probably in all likelihood not going to happen. But I think it's led to you see a little bit more playmaking out of Gavrikov, and I think he's more than capable of it. He's showcasing why they coveted him.
Unbelievable. He's been great. I think he's really close to a career high in goals. He scored again the other night or last night. He scored the overtime winner against the Stars. The the guy's been money. I mean, he's been worth it. I know he's 31, and I mean, if you're worried about his age, I mean, I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about what he's providing the team right now. I'm not worried about what's going to happen in the future because the way the Rangers are built, it's for right now. And with they're obviously a better team with him right now than they are without him. So he's got to keep going. He's got to do some serious heavy lifting if the Rangers want to do some damage and stay in the playoff race. I'm looking at the shots from the other night. The Rangers had 41 shots on goal for the game against the Stars. The Stars, and that's no pushover team. That's a perennial cup contender. That's an amazing
Record
team.
wise, I think they're between them, Colorado, and Vegas. I think in standings wise, if I'm remotely in the realm, but
I gotta see
yeah,
the shots by period. I like it. The Rangers were like tilting the ice the other night against Dallas. I went back and watched. I wasn't able to catch the full game, but I did catch the highlights. And the Rangers had so many scoring opportunities, and it wasn't just in like the first period. The shots on goal for the third period, 18-4, 18-4 against that team. Man, the Rangers can be a good team. It's just the inconsistency is the thing that they need to figure out. And losing Fox is gonna suck. It really is. I like how they've played in those two games since though. Schneider has done a decent job. I kind of like how Carson Soucy has been playing this season. I don't know about you, Phil. He I don't know if I'm crazy. He looks a lot better than he did when he came to the Rangers by the trade deadline last season. I don't know.
I think his role's a little bit more defined at the end. I think he's more comfortable in it. As I've stated, and we've talked about it before. I think the Rangers have always had a bit of uh, a problem playing people up a line or out of a position, which raises their expectations. I think if he's playing where he is now, where you could where he's capable of doing what the expectation is, I think that's a big result. It gives results. It gives confidence, and with a lot of the Rangers, when his last two games, hopefully it inspires some confidence and you could carry it forward. I'm pretty sure they have the Avalanche coming in tomorrow, right? Is that tomorrow or Sunday?
Yeah, they have to play the Avalanche and the Golden Knights on this home trip. This
Yeah,
is going to be
that's
tough
going
for
to
the Rangers.
be that's a daunting 2 game stretch.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, the Rangers like lost. I think they lost both games to them to those teams on their road trip. So the Rangers are going to have to come away with victories. They have to. This is going to be a huge month for them without Fox because of how close the Eastern Conference has been. If they want to be a playoff team, this is it. Like you got to get as many points as you can. There's no other way about it. Um, They have to play. Yeah, they play Colorado tomorrow afternoon at 12:30, and then Sunday night against Vegas, and then they get 2 days off, and then play Chicago. All right, so like these are you got to get points here. You're on home ice. Enough of this. Enough of this. We can't score at home bullshit. Put the puck in the net. Finish your chances. It's not like they're playing horrible a lot of the time. It's when they play like they did against the Lightning, that's what concerns me. It's like stuff from last season creeping into this year. And if they could eliminate as much of that as possible, I think the Rangers can sneak into the playoffs because they have more established players than these other contender teams, playoff contenders. I'm talking about. I believe more in Shesterkin than I do other teams' goaltenders. I think the Rangers have more firepower than they do, plus the playoff experience. It just all boils down to, can the Rangers stay healthy and can they stay consistent? So Gavrikov, like we talked about, has to continue doing what he's doing. Maybe not pop a goal in every single game, but at least be steady defensively. I mean, Schneider has been decent this season, like I said. Scott Morrow, I heard a lot of people in the fan base saying, like, we want him playing top minutes. We want him playing on the top power play. I mean, I'd slow my roll there if I were you. He hasn't played in the NHL too much. Power play for sure. I don't know why Mike Sullivan's going with 5 forwards. I don't like that
I was
at
going to
all.
bring that up.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just unsure of what the thinking is behind that. It did work. It looked clunky. It looked spacing and positionally. It was wild. I think they got
Kinda all
lucky.
over
They
the place.
experimented. Obviously, you take Fox off the power play. He runs the whole thing. He's the point man on it. It's going to look clunky no matter what. But when you have other people with potential, give them some minutes. I think that was a problem for the Rangers the last couple of years. Is power play one has been so damn good that they would get a minute 40 out of the two, and the second unit never got much time to show what they can do. I think there are other players that have more than capable ability to get out there and produce. And a downside to, granted some trades occurred, but there isn't really a second person on the team you could say, all right, Fox is out of the power play, he can run point. A defenseman, I
Yeah.
should say. And
Yeah, like Morrow, that's right in his wheelhouse there, being able to play the power play. It would do 2 things, right? It gives you the defenseman like replacement for Fox on the power play 1. Obviously nowhere near as good as Fox, but it is a defenseman. It is a guy that can quarterback that unit. And 2, you get to see what Morrow can give you, what he's like, and in like sufficient minutes. Like there's a good sample there. Usually the way they run the power play is like a minute 30, like a good minute. That first unit will be out there before they switch units. Right. So I think it would be a good thing there. If they just let Morrow run on the first power play unit instead of running Panarin at the point. And then who do they have on the unit? It's Zibanejad, Cooley in the front, Miller, and Trocheck. So then your second power play unit is just a bunch of scraps, pretty much. Like there's not really much going there.
it's clunking, and you could tell they probably haven't even used that unit in practice. It just looked off. Granted, the whole year the power plays just look a step slow. I think they missed Kreider.
I agree. Oh, did I lose you there, Phil? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties, folks. Is
Am
he
I
there?
back?
You're here?
Can you hear me?
He's here. Okay. We
Apologies.
got him.
Yeah, I think in practice, like it just the power play has been streaky at best this year. It's come and it's ebbed and flowed. I think a lot of that, Cooley's taken over the front of the net. I think has been a positive in adjusting to not having a rotating door in that spot. Obviously, now Fox is out. It's going to flow again, ebb again. Probably not going to be as smooth, but I think it's been counteracted by a little bit of a stronger 5-on-5 effort, and I know Sullivan's probably everybody around the Rangers knows that's been an issue. So you know, we could sit here and complain about different things, compliment different things, but when they do play well, you see the potential, which I love. But on the flip side, it makes it more maddening saying, there's 82 games, 60 minutes a game. Where is this every game?
Mhm.
Why does it come and go? I don't know.
Not to nitpick, but to compliment now, I wanna shift to something else, something that has caught my attention, which is the new look kid line, if you wanna call it that, which is the 3rd line the Rangers have. Will Cooley, Noah Laba, and Brett Berard. I think that's a very solid 3rd line. I think what the Rangers are rolling out there right now is great, and I think they should keep it going, for the time being, right? Like, I don't know if you saw the other night, on, against Ottawa. Laba made a great play in the neutral zone, to start an offensive rush. He broke the puck in. He was getting harassed by Brady Tkachuk, and he did not break, did not bend an inch, did not give him anything. He peeled away, set up the play, and then Gavrikov scored to make it 2-0. It was incredible. Like that line, I think JT Miller was stuck out there because of like a defensive zone draw, but that line has looked really solid, very tenacious, good forechecking line. It's what you want your 3rd line to do. Chip in offensively, be hard to play against. It's exactly what I think Chris Drury has been talking about the last few years, is being harder to play against. To me, that's exactly what they're looking for there. The way the Rangers lines are constructed too, I think is the best that they could get out of what's on paper with the roster. So basically what I'm saying is right now they have Panarin, Zibanejad, and Lafreniere as their first line. I think that's solid. They played really well against Ottawa. The numbers look good. Then you have Miller and Trocheck together, but you don't have a right winger. You have Brodzinski there, who is serviceable, but he is not a second line right winger. You need a second line right winger. And the Rangers just don't have that right now. I don't know what's wrong with Brennan Othmann, why he can't get it going. We'll talk a little bit more about him in a little bit. And also Gabe Perreault is tearing it up in Hartford, but I don't know if he's ready per se to go to the NHL. I think a lot of scouts were saying that, physically he's not there yet. But what do you make of that Cooley Laba Berard line there, Phil?
I like it. I like. I'm a big Will Cooley guy. I think he's brings a little physicality. Not afraid to hit. I think it's similar to the kid line a few years ago. You see what you got, put them together, let them go out there and. But I think this line plays a little bit more of an edge. I think the former kid line was a little bit more finesse. I think Kako would get in and dig for the puck, but it was much more of a talent line. I think this line could develop into something. Let them develop some chemistry. What the hell do you got to lose? Really,
Mhm.
what at this point? Let them play together. See, I don't know if any of them will ever be top six caliber scorers, but I think if they could develop, like you just said, into a mentality of that line is hard to play against, and they could get possession and keep it in, and then allow Panarin to come onto the ice when they retain possession deep in the zone.
Good point.
I think they have that capability and that ceiling to be able to be that type of unit. And in all honesty, that's what the Rangers haven't had. They haven't had lines that could dominate possession and turn it over, and you get Zibanejad and Panarin in there with the puck in the zone already.
Mhm.
So let them go out there. I don't know if they're going to be lighting up the lamp all that often, but you need
They
different
don't
people on the team to do different
nah,
things.
they don't need
And
they don't need them to be
exactly,
lighting the lamp. That
they don't.
job's gotta be for, like, Panarin and like, Lafreniere and those guys. Like,
And
I
if they could,
want I want the other team to be on their toes, like, to have to, you know, be like, "Oh, shit, these guys are coming right after me. Um, I better get this puck out," and force them to make a mistake, something like that. Keep them on their heels, basically, right? Like you said, I think that
I
was a
agree.
good point you made. If you keep up the pressure and allow Panarin to step onto the ice with more space, that's gonna be really helpful, especially come playoff time. When the game tightens up. not necessarily in the playoffs, but let's say the Eastern Conference race is still tight at the end of the season, the games are going to become tighter. You already know it. So that's something that hopefully the Rangers can continue. I like that line, Cooley, Laba, and Berard. Another thing that I noticed the other night, I don't know if it was because he was just playing in Canada. Lafreniere looked pretty engaged. I thought he looked really good against the Senators. In the defensive zone, he made a couple of really nice plays I saw in the third period. And he was moving his feet. A lot of times you'll see Lafreniere, he'll get into this pattern where you don't even notice him because he just coasts. He doesn't backcheck at all. He's just on the ice getting cardio. It's not even cardio because he's not even skating. He's just there,
Maddening. It's
gliding.
absolutely maddening. Yeah.
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 I hate when he's like that, but when he plays like he did on Thursday, man, I love it. I love it. I wish he played like that all the time. I really,
That's a
really wish
question. Why doesn't he?
it's like the way he is playing, it's like how the Rangers play sometimes as a unit. It's like sometimes they're like go, 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 and then other times they're asleep at the wheel. I don't know. I don't know. They've had it with a few different coaches now. This goes back to before Gerard Gallant. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
And it's not a coincidence that the Rangers ebb and flow as their players ebb and flow. It totally it makes sense. It's an effort level wanes, results will wane. It's what happens.
You know who always gave his best effort, right, Phil? Brandon Nimmo. He always gave his best effort on the Mets.
Baby, he certainly did. But
we were talking about that trade. It's been a couple weeks. We took a week off for Thanksgiving, but Brandon Nimmo was traded to the Texas Rangers for Marcus Semien. A crazy move. Something I did not expect at all. Like, I guess you could say bad contract for bad contract, even though I wouldn't say Nimmo's contract was horrible. I just think he's getting older. Man, this caught me by complete surprise on a Sunday afternoon. I don't know about you, Phil.
I have heard rumblings they were looking to switch it up. I'm not upset about it, to be honest with you. I'm not. I was okay with that. I am a huge culture guy when it comes to sports. And the Mets have been running it back now for a couple of years. The same top four. You throw in Soto, but by and large, Lindor, Nimmo, McNeil, Alonso, it's the same people, and you're not getting the results you want. So why are you going to keep running it back? We had that talk with the Rangers a couple of weeks ago. The goal is not to get to the playoffs and get swept. It's not to be consistently average every year. It's to win the whole effing thing. Bring me a World Series, bring me the Stanley Cup, and if you're not helping me do that, is your value better in a trade? Simeon brings fantastic defense. Just won a Gold Glove. Yeah, he's 35, but him and Lindor up the middle will create a fantastic, fantastic double play pair. If they can get a center fielder that's above average defensively with the catches that they have, championship level defense up the middle is World Series caliber, and that's where it starts. If they could make, and they didn't have to part with any assets. It was a bad contract for bad contract. Use some of those minor league assets and players that they have, trade for some pitching, and let's get this shit rolling. Let's and I'm also probably the minority about in this regard. Nimmo's gone. Well, not minority in this regard. The next person that gotta go is McNeil. I don't care if you ask me to donate to that cause. I'll send you a check. Get rid of him. I mean, just get him out. He is such a me, crybaby. Smash my helmet, break my bat. Get him out of here. I'm so sick of his antics and his bullshit. Get him out. And now there's no place for him to play. Simeon's going to take second base, so bye-bye.
Unless they decide to squeeze him in left field. I don't want that to happen, though. No. Don't want McNeil in left field. Just get rid of the salary. Please sign Bellinger or Tucker. Like, go spend the money. And as you said, use those minor league assets to your advantage. Go trade for Alcantara or Skubal or whoever. You need an ace. There's
we know
not
Detroit's
one
not going
ace
to pay him.
What's that?
We know Detroit's not paying Skubal. They can't afford that.
Right. The guy's nasty, right? Like, you need your bona fide ace. They don't have that anymore. They used to have it with DeGrom. They don't have it anymore. Senga was supposed to be that guy. I don't know what they're gonna do with Senga anymore. It was Mania a couple years ago. He fell off last year because of the injuries. You need an ace, and you need to you need to fill in that rotation. I mean, the most consistent starting pitcher for the Mets this season was David Peterson, and this is his first like
Oh God,
true good season. He's not an ace. He's more of like at best a 3, maybe a 4.
he's not. But you know who really very well might be one day is McLean. He was filthy.
Nolan McLean was great, yes,
He was.
but
I like to
what
see a
I'm
full
saying,
season.
I loved him. I loved him, Phil. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But what I'm saying is, can you just throw him into the fire like right away? You're gonna blow
No,
his arm out. Like,
I get.
if
No, I
you make
totally
him
get
the
your
number
point.
one
I think
guy,
if McLean can be your 2 or 3, then I think you're really cooking. Which is what, in essence, Manaya and Sanga both are really in the big leagues. You know, a solid 2, an excellent 3. They're not ace. They're not anchoring your staff. They're not Garrett Cole. But that's what the Mets, our pitching lab. We're just better than all of the other 29 teams and getting, results out of our starters. You had that go with Frankie Montas. That went down
th-
the crapper. But
there were guys that the Mets had. I think who was it? Max Kranick. That was really good. I don't know. I don't think the Mets brought him back, which is upsetting because there was a lot of those guys those sneaky little guys that they had in their bullpen that I wish they would have brought back. Matt brought up the Mike Puma article. I don't know if you read it. I think I read a little bit. What were your guys' thoughts on the Mike Puma article? So much clickbait with the whole Soto and Lindor fashion thing, and we know Lindor and McNeil don't like each other. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking like that's like a trying to stir up some stuff. Like, I think the premise of the article was like Soto wanted it to be like all business. Like, he didn't want to joke around and stuff, and Lindor wanted people to be like more casual and like
yeah, I think it's
conversational. I mean, I don't think that's as much of a big deal as like I think the Lindor McNeil thing is more of an issue than the Lindor
that's been
Soto
an
thing.
issue. That's been
Yes,
there for years,
you're
which is
right.
why I don't know how McNeil still has a spot on the Mets. It's so clear that they don't like each other, and obviously Lindor's not going anywhere. So McNeil can leave. I think it's overblown. You don't have to be best friends with all of your teammates. There's 40 of you on the roster. You don't have to be best friends with everybody. The Mets did not tank last season because Lindor and Soto didn't get along. It had everything to do with the fact that they couldn't get outs. Their bullpen was leaky. Their starters were even leakier. I think it's a whole lot of nothing. I think it really doesn't matter. I think they will be fine. Maybe they don't love each other, but it doesn't have to be that way. Look at the Yankees. A-Rod and Jeter couldn't stand each other. They won a World Series. The '86 Mets, Keith Hernandez was off his ass doing blow every other game. I'm sure not everybody on that locker room, and like Gary Carter, probably didn't love that, but you don't have to love everybody. Scotty and Michael don't talk anymore. They don't love each other. No, you win. It's not a requirement to be best friends with everybody. Sorry.
Yeah. That's not what I'm looking for. I just want you to do the damn thing. Get it done.
That's it.
Get the
That's it.
W.
And they
Right?
both did by and large last year. Their numbers, I mean, they had, Soto started off slow and Dor had to struggle in the middle of the season. But at the end of the day, both of their numbers they performed.
Yeah,
Really
they
wasn't
both
on them as to why the
right,
team
right.
was bad.
Like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword because you do want the clubhouse culture, like you were talking about, Phil. You said you were a clubhouse guy, like, the culture thing is huge. But at the other end of the spectrum, um, you can't have it be like where it was with the Rangers last season. You know how they just completely crumbled under the microscope and stuff like that. That's not what we're talking about. You need to have like a good vibe, like Iglesias, how he was last couple seasons ago with the Mets. How he kind of brought everyone together and everyone was able to play.
I agree. The culture is a thing. Obviously, the culture is that I look for is more about winning, and that's what Obviously, you need to like each other and get along and have camaraderie. But the Mets, as long as I've been alive, the Mets, Jets, and the Knicks have been cultures of losers, not making the playoffs. You got to switch the vibe around the franchise, which the Mets have been trying to do with Cohen. Haven't really got there yet. The Knicks have kind of flipped that switch. I'm a diehard St. John's fan. They've been a joke for most of my life. But then they hired Rick Pitino, and you kind of see things flipping over, and now it's a mindset of winning, which of course, if everybody gets along, aids in that. But I don't think having a winning culture and everybody liking each other are necessarily going to be mutually exclusive. I think you could have both.
I agree. I agree. Winning is like the cure for everything. Like yeah, everything's better when you're winning. It's
Oh, yeah.
case in point,
Yeah.
simple thing there. Um, we're gonna move on to the ice cold take segment. So this week, we're going with. Hang on, here we go. Ice cold take. The ice cold take segment. What did the Rangers do with Brennan Othman? I was listening to Vince Mercogliano's new podcast, the Flying V, yesterday and today, and he was talking about it. Like it kind of seems like Brendan Othman's in no man's land because he didn't make it out of camp this season. He actually got cut pretty early, all things considered, before some of the other guys on the team. He got cut before Berard did, and Othman was drafted way higher than Berard was. Othman was a first round pick. So to what is this on year 4 without him cracking the NHL lineup consistently? I mean, I think it's time to move on from this guy. To be honest, I had high hopes for him, but if the Rangers don't feel that he could crack through in like a middle to top 6 role, they have no need for him. Like they have too many guys in the bottom 6, right? When Enstrom and Rempe come back, those guys are on your 4th line. We already talked about how Cooley, Laba, and Berard look great on the 3rd line. So where are you going to put Othman? The Rangers obviously don't feel that he's good enough on the 2nd line or on the 1st line because they need to see defensive improvements, which he has not made yet, or maybe he won't make. So what do? Do you sell low on him, or do you just keep him on the bench, kind of like they did with Vitaly Kravtsov, and wait until his value deteriorates till it's nothing? I say the Rangers should just trade him now. See what you could get for him. Give him a change of scenery. Maybe look for a guy that also needs a change of scenery. I remember a few years ago, when the Rangers had Elias Anderson, there was a rumor out there that there was it never ended up happening, but I would have liked to see it. Was Elias Anderson for Jesse Puljujarvi when Puljujarvi was on the Oilers. I don't know if you remember that one, Phil. That was in like 2019 or 2020. That rumor was floated about. That never ended up happening, but I would have liked to see something like that. I think a change of scenery move would be good for Othman, but I think it would be great for the Rangers too. Maybe you could trade him for a defenseman, someone to squeeze in Fox's place. Honestly, I would prefer someone like a buy low candidate on like a middle 6 role. If you're not going to use Othman right now, what do you think?
I agree. He probably needs to be traded, which could open up a can of worms of why can't the Rangers develop their prospects. But that's probably for a different discussion when I have a bottle of alcohol nearby. But I think the more of the question is when. If know, if with Fox out and it comes around March and the Rangers aren't going to make the playoffs, I'd like to see him maybe get called up and give him 20 games of consistently being on the NHL roster and see what he can do. Maybe his confidence, he gets a little confidence, he starts to produce, he flips a switch, and you keep him and you have a role for him. You figure it out. If it doesn't look like that's the case and he's struggling and he's not adapting well, and then you change the scenery in a minute, move him this summer. But I think a question of when they should move him is probably more. And if he does even come up here and play well, you trade him with a little bit of a higher value to him. So I think it's always hard to trade somebody and project them into the NHL when they really haven't had a whole lot of time up there. Here, I'm not a hockey player. I'm not in the NHL, but he doesn't really, like you just said, you would be trading him when his value is probably at an all-time low. I saw something yesterday. I don't know where it was. I think he's under half a point a game for Hartford. I don't even think he's at. I mean, he's just
Oh,
not putting up numbers.
yeah, I think his play style, he doesn't know what to do. It's like from what Vince was saying, he's not the same player that he was like a couple preseasons ago. Honestly, I thought the best opportunity for him was the 22-23 preseason. That's when he looked the best. And the Rangers didn't give him a chance. They didn't call him up. Maybe they thought he didn't have enough weight on him yet or whatnot. Whatever Ranger bogus reason that they give for why they don't want their prospects playing. Or give them a cup of coffee. But I mean, to your point about giving him 20 games, that's what the Rangers did last season after like around the deadline. And I mean, yeah, you could say like half of those games or most of those games were in the bottom six, not in the top six, but he didn't score any goals. That's what I'm
He
saying. It's
didn't
like
produce. I think a lot of his performance right now, and maybe I'm totally off. I think his confidence is totally shot. Right. I think the guy's running just with mentally, he's probably has no confidence. He's unsure of what to do. He's unsure of next. And if he can't figure it out, and you do end up having to move him with a very low value, maybe he'll go somewhere else. And like Capo Caco, he'll play better
it's a
elsewhere.
Phil, it's a good point you're making too. And also I to put a little bit more insight into it, just think about like where Othman has been at every stage of his like career, right? In the juniors, he was a goal scorer. He led his team. He was always a goal scorer, right? Then all his time, like he comes to the Hartford and he starts pretty good. Like, and then there's a couple seasons where, can he make the Rangers out of the camp? This is a question that we had. And we all kind of thought like this is his opportunity to do it. That never ended up happening. So really this could be one of his first times where has like a bout with confidence issues, right? I don't know when the last time he had such an issue like this was. He definitely has not dealt with something like this before because this is the highest level he's ever been at. This is the highest level he's ever been at, right? So
Yeah.
this must be difficult for him. It's not easy. Like, of course, he's a professional athlete. He should figure out how to do it. Yeah, of course, but it's not any easier when you haven't had any experience. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have as much time in the league to do it. Sure, you would hope that these guys are professionals. They need to figure it out. He's still just a kid, right? Like it's tough. It's tough for him.
Weight of the
But
world
again,
on
I
him.
still feel the same way. Like I think that the Rangers would be better off if they just moved him. Go ahead though.
No, I eventually they're going to have to. It's just a matter of can you rehabilitate some of that value. If it's contrary to the Rangers' season, they're fighting for a playoff spot. Obviously, it won't be the time to do that. But if it's like the season's heading towards being a lost season, I don't see a downside. You trade him in February, you trade him in July. He's either at low value or still at low value. It's not really going to make a difference if he could flip some type of switch or rehabilitate some value. You got nothing to lose. Worst comes to worst, you trade him low value in February as compared to low value in July. It's the same thing.
Yep. Yep.
So
The the
it's just a
the
matter of
big
timing.
hole that the hole that the Rangers need to fill is that like I said, that right wing spot on the second line, how they have it constructed right now. If Gabe Pro could come up there and be an instant contributor, I mean that would be fantastic. Like that would be like when Jake Gensel first came up for the Penguins. I'm not saying this is what's gonna happen, but I'm saying like if it could be something like that, if we were kind of playing the similarity game, we have Mike Sullivan. Sullivan had Gensel when he was with the Penguins when he first came up. They went on a run, putting Gensel up on that team immediately lengthened that lineup. They had 3 scoring lines and they were ready to do damage in the playoffs, right? Think about it. The Rangers have a first line if they keep playing the way that they've been playing. Like Zibanejad's been playing really well. I like how Lafreniere played the other night. Panarin has been playing great. You have your third line that's been playing awesome. You fill out that second line with a guy that could score goals in Gabe Perreault. Again, not saying it's a foregone conclusion that's going to happen, but if he can do that, that would be fantastic for the Rangers because it's internal. You don't have to worry about making a trade. You don't have to worry about clearing salary cap space. You don't have to worry about like team control or anything about signing the guy, locking him up. I'm sorry, not locking him up long term, but if he's going to walk in free agency after the end of this year, Perot's got 2 years left on his deal on the entry level contract. You don't need to worry about that for right now. So it would be a really good scenario for the Rangers if Perot could come up. Don't see it working out with Othman in that role. They've already tried it, and I don't think they want to try it again. Not to mention with Miller and Trocheck, those guys play a similar style. If you put Othman there too, that's 3 guys that all play the same way. I think that might be a little redundant.
Perot is gifted. I mean, the guy's got a pair of hands on him. I mean, that he's really talented. He's got a different skill set than Othman. I would love to see him come up again. I don't see a downside to trying. I mean, you go back to Brzezinski, okay, but you try it. Well, maybe you have something, maybe you don't. The only way you're going to know is if
Right.
you pull him up here and you give him ice time, and he'll probably even put up better numbers with talented players around him, which is something that tends to happen when you play with goal scorers and you could. You're passing to AHL Hartford players on your line, and the next thing you know, you're setting up JT Miller. You might have a couple more assists throughout the year. You don't know what you're going to get. So I'm all for it.
And not to knock on Brodzinski. Like I like Brodzinski. I think he's a fine player. He's not a world beater. He's just the 13th forward, right? He's a solid player that the Rangers
He's not a
have.
second line winger on a championship level team,
No,
and that's what.
Not. He is an injury replacement guy. Like he's a perfectly serviceable guy to put on your team when you need a hole. He's not like a. You know how like the Rangers used to put like Barclay Goodrow and like they used to plug him into the top 6 because they felt like it. They said like, oh, he could play. He's a Swiss Army knife. He could play anywhere. But like he really couldn't play the 6, and he was really more of a bottom 6 guy. Like, don't try and do that with. Please don't try and do that. Like a couple games maybe, but long term, if you have to go 50 games with him as your second line right winger, you really shouldn't be making the playoffs. I'm sorry. Like I love Brodzinski. Go ahead.
So why not Perot? Well, you just have nothing to lose. You don't have somebody for the spot. So you just have absolutely no downside to it. Oh, he doesn't work out, and you're back to exactly where you are right now with limited points coming from that right wing on that second line. Or you might strike cold, but you're only going to find out if you do it. So
I want to look up. I want to look up the stats of the Hartford Wolfpack because I'm fairly certain he's leading the team in scoring down there. Let's see. Team stats. Let's see. Oh, this is last year. Why is it showing me last year? That's funny. 20, 25, 20. How is that not? That's so stupid. AHL, get your shit together. Yes. Gabe Pro has 17 points in 16 games. He's got 10 goals and 7 assists. He's a plus 12. That's 1.06 points per game. The guy's tearing it up down there. I think a scout might have said that it's like too easy for him down there. If that's the case, that's great. That's a good thing. Like, give him a challenge. Give him a challenge. Like, especially now that the Rangers are desperate for goal scoring. I'm surprised that they didn't stick with him a little bit longer. I think from what I heard, that they said that size was an issue. Man, I want to like. Sometimes I get so infuriated with that argument. It's like, go ahead. What did you say, Phil?
Yeah, he's still gonna be the same damn size when he comes up next time. He's not, the kid could go in the weight room just as easily as a New York Ranger as he can on the Wolfpack. So up here, you can learn from somebody that's been told he's too small his whole career, and Artemi Panarin. You can learn from him. There's mismanagement of prospects is a whole different conversation. But at this point, if it is too easy for him down there, he's leading them in points. The guy's got all the potential in the world. You can have the exact gap in your lineup from what he could produce.
size is not the end
I,
all be all, and we've seen so many people prove it wrong. Zuccarello, St. Louis, Panarin, like the list goes on. Like, man, that one drives me bonkers. I sometimes, man, it bothers me. And Perot scored tonight too. Actually, I think he might. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to look at the stats right now. He had an assist, a goal. The Hartford Wolfpack are up 4-2 right now. He has 2 goals and an assist. Yeah, he's killing it. He's killing it. 2 goals and an assist. So he's up to 10 goals right now. Nuts. They're gonna win this game. The Wolfpack are up 4-2 with a minute 48 left in the third. That's amazing. Amazing. Like that's what I need the Rangers to do. That's what's next on the chopping block there. Sure, you want to keep everything consistent with the defense. Goal scoring. Can the Rangers score enough goals? We're like coming full circle to we're coming full circle to where John Tortorella was years like 10, 15 years ago, when it was like every game was a 2-1 finish. Who had 2 goals? That was to be determined. That's where it's kind of heading with the Rangers, at least on home ice. At least on home ice. They have a lot more skill than those teams, though. So I think the Rangers need to figure that out if they want to be like a true playoff team. If they could get the goal scoring up. Joey, the Wolfpack statistics is scary to look at. They're terrible. But Perot is kicking ass, though. That's all I care about. It's the Hartford Perots. That's all I'm worried about. And the Hartford Grands. That's it. That's all I'm worried about.
and not for long, because hopefully he'll be called up.
What's that?
I said, hopefully it's not for long, because he gets called up. It should be on.
Yeah.
Should be in the.
Yes.
roster.
I'm sorry. I got you. Yeah.
You're good.
I got you. We gotta up your recording studio there, Phil. We gotta get enough of the phone. We gotta get you like a hardline internet connection. Enough with this McDonald's Wi-Fi bullshit. We need the real deal. Let's go.
And I'm the only one in the house right now. There's nobody else is even using Wi-Fi. I don't know what the hell happened there. Well, that was a phone call thing, but yeah, no, I'm technologically not too
Phil's
savvy.
a boomer.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm not. You know, I don't even know what a hardline Wi-Fi. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. But
it's an Ethernet port.
Teach me what it is. Tell me what it is.
Phil needs a PC. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start
like,
recording from my office. I can go to my office.
Yeah. You could do that. That's what Donnie Pucks did. That's what Dan Rosen did when we had them on. We got to get guests back on here. So I mean that's all I got for this week's episode of Ice Cold Takes. I want to try and get more guests on the show. I'm trying to get our friend Muggsy, Matthew Mugno, on the show. He's a broadcaster. He has his own Rangers podcast, because it's been a little while. Hopefully we could get something going next week. And then I do want to get back into having some other content creators on the show, because we used to do that a lot. Maybe I'll have to come up with another list of big time guests that I want to get on. I pretty much got most of the guys that I really wanted. Once I got Rick DiPietro, that kind of ended all the ones that I wanted. Of course, you have like Steve Valquette and like Sam Rosen and those guys, but with how MSG runs their things, it's pretty difficult to get in touch with those people. So, yeah. Anyways, Phil, you have anything else to add before we wrap it up here?
I think we covered it all.
Live, laugh, love, Mets and Rangers. Yay. I don't know. Okay. Talk to you guys next week. Have a good one. Go Rangers. Bye.